Welcome back. It's great to have you with us on SABC's Prime News.
And of course, welcome. Thank you for joining us. President Cyril Ramaphosa has encouraged South African businesses to reach out to their counterparts in Commonwealth countries.
He was speaking at the Commonwealth Business Forum in London ahead of a meeting of the Commonwealth Heads of Government that kicks off tomorrow. Ramaphosa said the organisation of 53 member states that used to be part of the British Commonwealth was a valuable forum to promote linkages between companies and business organisations from around the world.
Well, earlier he announced an ambitious investment drive that aims to generate at least $100 billion in new investment over the next 5 years. He also met the British Prime Minister and the Queen. And now, of course, you're going to be having a discussion around this.
Yeah, let's speak to Paul Barber. He's our correspondent in London. Thank you for being with us. So firstly, who attends the Commonwealth Business Forum? How important is this?
Yes, it's been a very busy day too for President Ramaphosa here in London. Of course, his first visit to the UK as president, and it began at the Guildhall in the City of London, where the president met with other leaders from African countries in the Commonwealth, 19 of them, of course, and he really wanted to underscore the need to develop partnerships on the continent and to drive more intra-African trade and more intra-African investment. And he said the tradition had generally been for the source of investment in Africa to have been South Africa itself, but he wants to see the reverse of that and encourage more investment from other African countries into South Africa. So after that round table of the Commonwealth Heads of Government Business Forum African leaders, it was down to a working lunch at the Bloomberg headquarters here in the City of London, and he was greeted by a very important, influential group of CEOs and business leaders, and he was very keen to underscore what he described as a new dawn for South Africa. Those business leaders and investors very keen to hear what he had to say and wanted to hear concrete measures that Ramaphosa's administration is putting into place, and he was certainly able to give lots of details on that. He said that land reform was going to be a huge priority for his government, and that land should be shared back with the people who it belonged with, and ordinary people should have a fairer share in the land, and that it would unlock the levers of growth in South Africa. He also said that he had a very competent team. His cabinet was a group of people that could safely and securely manage the resources of South Africa. He also mentioned the reforms to education and also job growth. Of course, for that we need economic growth. So as you mentioned, that drive to raise $100 billion over the next 5 years, and the president hoping that he's certainly got the UK on board with that, and many other leaders of the Commonwealth interested in seeing how far they can cooperate with that. So busy day with investors, and tomorrow it's on to the rest of the Heads of Government meeting.
So it is an ambitious target, $100 billion. Paul, did you have any opportunity to gauge the interest, how he is being received among those business leaders in London?
Yes, well, there's certainly a sense among those business leaders that South Africa is now a country that they can do business with, and that the opportunities really are there. The President was underlining the fundamental strength that South Africa has, the democracy, strong institutions, a strong constitution and infrastructure that means that investors can work in the country in safe conditions, that there's good regulatory systems in place for them. So, of course, Britain is got its mind on the horizon beyond Brexit, and yesterday we heard from Prime Minister Theresa May that the UK would be investing 850 million rand into South Africa to try and improve the business environment and tackle barriers to trade. Now, of course, that's extremely important for Britain as it looks beyond the European Union and beyond Brexit at the end of next year, and that's going to be a major topic for the heads of government over the next couple of days. What sort of trade barriers can come down in the Commonwealth? This club of 53 signatory countries do about $560 billion worth of trade every year, and Britain is keen for the Commonwealth to be seen as a beacon of free trade in this time of rising protectionism. So that chimes well with President Ramaphosa's message that South Africa is now open for business, very much so, and very much at the top of the meetings for the next couple of days will be how more trade can be done. Business leaders are very excited about other measures that South Africa's put in place, like naming these 4 trade envoys to be dispatched throughout the world and drumming up interest for that major investors conference in South Africa coming up in September. Back to you guys.
So Paul, very quickly, last question. It sounds like he's being so successful, and Theresa May is saying 850 million rand in investment, but I guess that would have been determined before. That this isn't Cyril Ramaphosa, our president specific, or is it?
I'm not sure if I quite heard your question, but I think you were saying if it's specific to Mr. Ramaphosa being here and creating that interest. Well, I think it's fair to say that there's a huge amount of excitement and optimism and hope for President Ramaphosa here. I think this is a leader they feel they certainly can do business with, and he has a very impressive track record in business himself, and he said that these Commonwealth Heads of Government Business Forum meetings were opportunities to go from contact to contract. So keen to really nail down the specifics, and he said yesterday to us at Downing Street that this isn't all hot air. We really are making changes, we're putting measures into place, and he also did say that the Commonwealth itself is an important club in these troubled times. So I think, yeah, Britain is hoping that the more encouragement they can give to President Ramaphosa's government and his administration, the better results they'll see for South Africa and the UK and the rest of the Commonwealth.
Thank you very much. Paul Barber live for us from London, where Cyril Ramaphosa will now be attending that Heads of State meeting. That's the main gathering that kicks off tomorrow. Bongani?
Well, the NPA has